All right, I think that it is December 29, 2010. This is Missing Time, Part 3. The day after the missing time, when I thought about it all, I suddenly got mad and called information and demanded the phone number of the Otis military installation. I was given 3 numbers after a runaround. The first number claimed to be a deli, the second I don't recall, and on the third I got a young woman on a switchboard. I explained to her as calmly as I could what had happened and demanded that someone from the installation come out to explain to us what had happened. If they were testing warp drive vehicles or something, that could explain our missing time. The woman muttered, "Yours is the 3rd call from that part of the beach today." I asked for her name and she came to her senses and asked me not to repeat what she had said. I said essentially, "Look, my husband is bothered by this. Can't you just send someone out and talk to us?" I wouldn't have believed their story, but I wanted very much to put him at ease. "We just need to know what happened," I kept telling the woman on the phone. "If it's a matter of the military or of national security, we'll keep quiet. We'll just accept we may have suffered the effects of military craft being tested in the vicinity. Just tell us that's what it was." The young woman was evasive, and I said, "Look, just tell me what to do. I'm pissed as hell. My French husband has been through this. I think I've been abducted before here in the States, and that's in the past, I hope. But no one messes with my husband. He means the world to me. The guy is very perturbed by this whole thing." The woman sounded very compassionate. She said she could not send anyone, that I needed to call the local police. She strongly implied they were prepared for this sort of thing. I hung up disgusted. What good would it do to call the police? A marked car would pull up. All the neighbors and the realty company would see. I didn't want to cause any fuss for the nice people who had so kindly lent us their weekend and vacation cottage, which was a chic rental property. I had no more pot in my possession. I had smoked it all in North Truro days before. If any police would have come, they would have found our bottles of alcohol and assumed we had a drinking problem, which would have been the truth. But no, I just didn't think calling the local police was the way to play this. I think they were counting on my reaction there at Otis military installation. Normally, I raise hell, but this time I wanted no scandal this time. I had others to think of, not my bloated UFO tales, not my pride. But I should have called the police maybe, who can say? All the time in East Sandwich, I kept looking at the skies, and once we got our rolls of film developed in Boston, I kept photographing the sky all that week, for no apparent reason. Months later, back in France, I looked at one of the photos of the sky from the deck of our cottage, and I couldn't believe my eyes. There was a UFO there, in the upper left-hand corner of the photo. I looked on the negative. It was there too. Maybe it was just a jet or something, but it sure looked weird to me. I sent this photo to my mother in Ohio, who promised to hook me up with some internet abductee group or something, but since then she has not mentioned it. And that particular strip of negatives is missing from my apartment. I do admit my apartment is a mess, but I find all the other holiday photos, yet not this one strip of negatives. Well, I seem to be missing the next page, so I'll get it together. Yeah, I think I have it here. Let me try to finish this up. I don't think my spouse is too happy about my reading this and sharing it with you. I resent all this. I hate having to take 10 milligrams of an anti-anxiety drug each night. I hate the way I still panic when there's a light at the window during the night. Recently, I had a very bad respiratory tract infection and went to see a specialist in France. He looked up my nose with a long tube with a light at the end. I went into a panic. I had seen such a thing before when I was abducted in 1989. Those bastards put something up my nose. I know this sounds something like something from a Whitley Strieber book or from an X-Files episode. But why do I remember these things? Why, when I have surgery in hospitals since 1989, do the bright lights of the operating theater disturb me so? Why, when even my dentist tilts the chair back and puts a bright light in my mouth, do I feel this unreasonable panic? I had bad health often in my youth and had had surgery, even ether, before 1989. I never had that panic reaction before. My spouse is sober ever since, and he's been very quiet about this. He won't talk about it. This is from a book in progress titled The Finishing School. I'm looking for a publisher for it. The idea is that life is a school which finishes you off. The book, which has no publisher as of yet, is a series of recollections of my life. All right. I do have a new thing being published. It's an essay of mine, and it's in a book called Freak Wave 2. It'll be out in a couple weeks. They lost their distributor, but it's the second in a series of French and English art books with essays in French and English. And mine is in English. In the first one, it's in both English and French. You might enjoy it. There is a book out about me this year called Modern Women by the Museum of Modern Art, and I am Lisa Baumgartner in there, which is my maiden name. I'm mentioned on 6 pages, and I have 3 color plates in it. So tell me what you think about this. This is copyright 2010, Lisa B. Fallour, BS MBA, all rights reserved. Lisa Inc., EURL, CuteCatFace.com.